this right. You don't have to go. You can stay the night. Put away your phone. We can make this right.
Yo, what
This
up?
love
My
that
name
we
is
have
Randy
for
Bell,
each other.
My name is A-squar3d.
and this is the NFS Podcast, where we've got nothing to sell but everything to tell. I don't know if that's actually going to be the continuous slogan for this. I don't know if I'm liking it. It gets cheesier as I keep saying it. I'm just like,
Wasn't one of those where, like, if you keep repeating it, then it's gonna just get better.
I know, right? Like sometimes you try that shit, but then it's just like, nah, I don't. This one isn't getting better. It's getting worse. I don't know. We gonna think of something. Probably just go back to the NFS anthem and just be like, yo, it's NFS. We the best.
Oh God.
Let's go back. We're gonna go way back.
Way too back, man. Well, anyway, before we start off, man, I just want to know, how have you been doing, man?
I have been doing good. I am doing a lot better, these days, feeling a little bit more happy and whatnot, but it is what it is. And then how you feeling?
Never better, man. I guess it's just because my work is forcing me to go on vacation. I'm kind of slightly looking forward to it. I don't really know what vacation really is because
I'm being forced to go on vacation. I'm being forced away from work. I wish that shit would happen to me. I wish they would say, "What the hell are you doing here?" Instead, they're just like, "What the hell are you doing? Get back to work."
Don't you need to do more work?
They wish they could do that. Luckily, we have unions and shit.
Of course, man. Of course. But yeah, no, just making sure that every one of us is doing good, and
Yep. Now, before we fully get into anything, I'd like to address last week's podcast. I'm not going to apologize because it is what it is. Shit, you're going to have an off day. It was a lot of rambling. And at the end of the day, it did sound pretentious. And I'm like, it is what it is. Fuck. I said what I said. I ain't going to take it back. I'm just going to say it is what it is and move on. Move on from that shit.
So on the record,
if you could make
double down on.
If you could make sense of it, then shit, I roll with you. I fucks with you. If you can't, I mean, hey, you know what it is. I said what I said. I love and I hate you. I love and I hate music. That's a complicated relationship I have with it. And when it comes to fans, I don't know, shit.
Let them figure out what they want, right?
Exactly. The way you listen to music. At the end of the day, it's all good. Shit, I don't know. I'm not going to go back into it because honestly, it's just going to go down this road of meaning absolutely nothing. So we're going to switch the topic. And A-Square wanted to talk about some stuff today. He's going to be taking lead. Take the reins, son. Take the reins.
Ooh, big shoes, man. Big shoes. But yeah, anyway, speaking of liking and hating music, I was just wondering, well, for me personally, what is the influence? What inspires you to create the music that you do? You know what I mean? I know, we've covered a little bit of this, in the surface in the first episode of this, what inspires this. But, I want to know more in detail about you, what truly got you from doing the rapping thing with me back with NFS till the Randy Bell that you are today.
Well, essentially, I was inspired by music, not in general. I took a liking to music within my early teens. First, when I heard Outkast. Now, I want to say that, but at the same time, I actually would say I took a liking to music first when I heard Michael Jackson. I remember the first track that really intrigued me and was one of my favorite songs. It was my favorite video was Smooth Criminal. And that kind of got me into it because he was just an all-around artist, an all-around performer. Because, did the singing, the dancing, and all of that. And it was just when he was on live, it was crazy. So that kind of inspired me, but more on the performance side. But then hip-hop was in my life. But I also had soca and calypso playing because of my parents and all of that. But then I also had hip-hop and R&B playing because of my brother and sister. But I found that when I heard Outkast, that just sparked something. It was just different. It was just kind of, it wasn't the norm. So when I heard it, and the song was The Whole World, that song. Like when the whole world, that shit, when I heard, I don't know, when I heard it, because I remember the first time when I heard it, I came around the end and I was like, this shit is just crazy. And I don't know what it was, but I gravitated to it. And that kind of, I feel like that was the initial spark of my interest into music. Because around those times, I was just fully dedicated to just wanting to be an actor and all of that.
Oh, very fascinating.
How about yourself?
Well, not to like bite off the same pie kind of thing, but honestly,
lame.
like, no, man, like actually, like the first full album I've ever listened to was Michael Jackson's Dangerous. Like I was a little later on down the road kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I remember at the age of like 6, like just seeing that album cover, I was like, what the heck is this, right? And then like my parent, like obviously my dad bought it, right? So like I didn't know any better. And then I asked him if I could play this, like I could play this CD. And the very first track on there, Black and White, there was just something about that poppy vibe and then just gravitated towards me. So that opened the doors of me like liking music and saying, hey, maybe I can create something else off my own on this. Because even back when I was 5 and 6, like I was already exposed to music. My dad just plays the guitar as a hobby, and my grandparents were the ones who later on down the road taught me how to play the piano. Yeah. And that sort of gravitated me towards just the music thing. And I thought, okay, like cool, I could probably, like when I was younger, I said like, hey, maybe I could be like my dad, like just do this as a side thing. And then like as we moved to Canada, like back in like the early 2000s and whatever, like that's when my library of music opened up more. Like my dad was just more into the rock and roll kind of type, and I was like, yeah, I feel that, like I respect that. Yeah. Because like hearing all the instruments, like just being cohesive and just moving as one with the music, like that in itself like inspired me to just delve right deeper into music. And then the first hip hop, my first hip hop exposure was a mix between Eminem first and then Outkast later on.
True.
Yeah. And with Eminem, I think it was the Marshall Mathers LP, the very first one.
Yeah.
And that opened up my eyes, just lyricism upon lyricism. And that wasn't even the
crazy shit.
Like Eminem's, that wasn't even the fucking crux of his like lyricism. And I'm just like, I could write words. I didn't know. I honestly separated like the music instrument, the instrumentals to the actual lyricism and just like the story behind it, right? And then like, just moving on towards high school, just realizing that I can mix both of them together and actually create something with it. And then the entire incident with the MP3 and NFS coming up, I was like, hey, this is an opportunity for me to like actually try this out.
True.
So yeah, and then Outkast, I think it was Bombs Over Baghdad. Yeah, Bombs Over Baghdad. That was the very first one I've heard out of Outkast, and that opened up my eyes to like, wow, this is creative as fuck. Like just their ATL style, like just like that setting stuff. I know, man. Holy shit.
I remember wilding out to that shit. Yeah.
My goodness. I was like, and then like I took in the words and the lyricism behind it. I was just like, fuck, this is intense.
Yeah.
No, that's basically my inspiration towards music in terms of the hip hop culture. Okay, that's what opened up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take a step back, and I gotta ask this question. All right, because you said Black and White by Michael Jackson. So, what did you think of the music video for that?
Ooh.
It's a good. I'm gonna preface this by saying it's a good song. Love the message.
It's a great song, yeah. The music video though.
but it was the video for me. You know what I'm saying? Like when I saw that music video,
I know.
I didn't know how I felt about that.
Okay, but I was in Singapore and I was in Singapore in the Philippines at the time when I heard Black and White. So like, I didn't know any better about the music video. I didn't think like
there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. Like, I didn't actually see the music video up until like what was it? Like when I revisited that album again, like I was like, hey, I was in YouTube and saw Black and White. Like I only saw that video like maybe 10, 15 years ago, the first time.
Okay.
I was like,
So well
yeah.
after, yeah.
Yeah. So I was looking at it, I was like, this is what they associated that?
Okay, because I cannot think of Black and White without thinking about the music video, and personally to me, the music video kind of ruined the song. It was just, I just was like, oh, I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
No.
It was too different for me, is what I'll say. It was too different for me. But
and then I don't know, like I'm not too sure if this was in the same album, but They Don't Care About Us. Like there were multiple versions.
Black and White was
that one
before that.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, no. Like speaking of like Michael Jackson and like just like I never truly appreciated that song until I saw that music video of him doing it in Brazil.
Which one? They Don't Care About Us?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, no, that shit was.
That was so fucking.
I mean, it spoke to a lot of the Black community, and yeah, no, it was a very deep song.
Yeah, it was one of the songs that like I like listening to it growing up. Like, yeah, I was like, yo, cool, this is hype and all, but like not to actually delve right into the deeper meaning of They Don't Care About Us. Like that was when it that's when it actually truly hit. I was like, that was a fucking good song, man. Yeah.
No, I feel that. Because I could go off on Michael Jackson like a whole goddamn podcast. Just to say,
of course.
Dude,
I know, man.
Just because of the fact that it's like, after finding out that a lot of artists didn't write their songs, which was a very big culture shock to me, and it hurt me, and I felt like I didn't want to listen to people for a while, because it happened. It was one of those things that hurt. because
I feel that, man.
As a kid, and you're looking through the rose petal glasses and everything, and it's like, it's all new, and it's like, yo, these guys are writing about their emotions. It's crazy how they do this. And it was one of those things that because I only found that out when I started getting into music, as in like writing and doing all my stuff, and it was finding out that these guys didn't do that. It broke my heart, because I was like, no, Michael did everything. Like, he wrote every one of his songs, only to find out that it was like he wrote some of his songs, but it was like not all of them. Like, oh my god, what? And then finding out like CeeLo Green didn't write all of his songs, and then finding out this person didn't write all their songs, and then it was like, well, hip hop's pure, and then finding out that that's a lie, and it was like, oh, my world shattered. But
understand too, like as we delve deeper into the industry, we realize like there is more to it than just like, let's see, like we approach this as like rappers, right? And then we didn't realize that like
it was just growing up to.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because again, it was like trying to be this purist and trying to. Well, it was more just being this purist and thinking that this is how it is. They just wrote those songs because you thought it was so personal to only them, but at the same time you're feeling that certain personal impression and everything. But then it was just like after all of that happened, like again, it was all heartbreaking for me in that moment, because it was just like when I found out this person didn't write their song, and then I went down like the tapestry of people that I loved and was like, oh my god, none of these guys are writing. But not like not to say that none of them are writing, but it was just like to find out that people had writers. It broke my heart for a while. And then as I started to grow up and actually get more into music, it was just one of those things. I'm like, it doesn't actually matter. Yes, someone else wrote it, but they're conveying the message beautifully. And at the same time, I would do the comparison of saying like, actors are not writing all of their lines. They're acting out someone else's lines, or blah, blah, blah. They're not these people. So I'm like, everything can be, in a sense, pretend and whatever. And I'm like, if you enjoy it, then what's wrong? Then what's wrong if they didn't write it or not? It doesn't actually matter. They made a dope ass song. Like in a way, like I actually like, I guess like younger on, like I realized, because like I'm the loser that like even when I was a child, like I read through like the credits and whatever, right? It was like, wow, there's so many people on this song. Like I thought it was only just the one person, right? So like earlier on in my life, like I've realized that like most artists do have these writers. Yeah. And at first I didn't truly get that until being here where we are right now, even if it is just like starting out. It's a lot of effort, and to have like writers to write in the likeness of said
musician.
Mhm.
Like I think that's a bigger accomplishment. It's like understanding like these writers like know like have to know the writer to a point where like they gotta get my message out, but then I gotta do it in a way that it's like them, right? So that it doesn't seem like it's someone else. Like it's not that it doesn't seem like it's just an actor just like doing out lines, right?
Well,
Hmm.
I'll say yes and no. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
a writer will write a song. They
Mm-hmm.
may have you in mind,
Mm-hmm.
but then again, they may just write their songs in their way. And if it's just good, again, you look at Sia when she wrote both the songs for Beyonce and Rihanna. When she wrote "Pretty Hurts,"
Right, right.
and Beyonce got that. I'm like, she didn't really have. I don't think, because I actually don't even fully remember the story, but I don't think she fully had Beyonce in mind. And
Mm.
but then I think she somewhat had Rihanna in mind when she wrote "Shine Bright Like a Diamond." But
Yes.
either way, but it's not so much like that. It's just if you're able to write dope songs, then it is what it is. And after a certain amount of and again, like after the whole like heartbreak and everything, it was just like
Mm-hmm.
brushing it off and then looking, and then it just became a whole new appreciation for the writers as well as the song and everything. Like it just expanded more of the appreciation. So I was like, so that's why I say I'm like, it was one of those things where like it killed me to find out that they didn't write these songs and they didn't write it for me, right? It was just like, nah, okay. Like I grew up and it was just like, nah, this isn't the worst thing in the world. Frankly,
Mm-hmm.
frankly, becoming a writer for myself, I'm like, I would love to write for other people. Because I
Mm-hmm.
look at some songs, because I understand, I'm like, there's some songs that even though you may be able to sing, I'm like, you won't sound the greatest singing. And
No.
someone might actually just be able to do it better than you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get that opportunity and this artist is on the uprise, give it to them. Just
Yes.
give it to them. You will make bank. But yeah. But yeah, as the years went on, I started gaining more influences because I started off with like Michael Jackson and Outkast, and then after John Legend appeared, and of course the
Mm-hmm.
Eminem, 50
Mm-hmm.
Cent, Dr. Dre. I'm
Mm-hmm.
naming I'm naming a lot of people. Kanye West was actually again, I was really falling in love with the different artists. I know there was a point when everybody was kind of hating on where hip hop was going, and I went into the underground and was listening to like Vinny Pass and Jedi Mind Tricks
Yes.
and Immortal Technique,
Immortal.
and I started
Yes.
getting into like the hardcore shit and was just like, yeah, I want all that dark music, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, and yeah. And then after,
It had its face.
of course, I feel like everybody has that phase where they just got to go underground
Mhm.
and just see like what that scene is. And it's not a bad scene at all either. But yeah.
No, it isn't. But yeah, well, going in that direction because I can't find a better segue than this. But like, any
Yeah.
other influences outside of music that actually shaped you to who you are as an artist? You know, like I know you've mentioned before that you were into the acting gigs and all of that, like just being an
Yeah.
actor, a performer. So, like, was there anything outside of music that actually shaped you as who you are as Randy Bell today?
I mean, life. I mean,
Mhm.
it's as simple as that. Like a lot. Life experiences, and again, loving to tell stories is what really brought me into music, because again,
Mhm.
it became this next avenue besides trying to write little skits here and there and trying to get into like doing web series and short films.
Mhm.
um Music just became this thing where it's like I can do this on my own. I don't need too huge of a team to do it.
Mhm.
So
Hmm.
that's kind of what came around, because again, there's a lot of scenarios. Well, most of my music is based on a lot of life situations. Some of it is just based on imagination, just kind of being like, I feel like doing this. Like sometimes
Mhm.
sometimes songs can be based off of just a simple thing of me wanting to do a specific kind of melody and just be like, I want to do this melody and I'll base a song around it. It's simple, but hey, you gotta be able to have fun with everything you do, right?
Mhm.
Yourself.
Basically, that's what it is for me too. Like within, because I guess like no one really knew who I was, like even in the first part of my life, right? Like I'm always just this guy that appears every year and then like just manages to like, oh hey, I gotta move because reasons like outside of
Yeah.
my control kind of thing. So like in a way, like my personality was actually just a blob. So like when I got into the creative side of myself, like my imagination was endless. Like I could actually make a whole bunch of things. Like I can actually be certain characters and certain things that I want to just like portray out. Like it was the fun part of it. Like I think like because the only thing that I knew constant was just like my family around me for a good amount of my life. Like I was able to actually be more creative and actually delve into this imagination where like I can be this specific character and actually portray it. And then when music came around, like the songs I did, like it was actually part of what my life was and part of how my emotions were.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the same time, like it's a character, it's an over exaggerated character because I feel like I can like shape it in a way that like people would see it differently. Like with the verse that we did for Want It Back.
Yeah.
It's sort of like it's the character in itself was partially based off of what happened in my life, but also mostly it was just a what if I took a different route in doing or in the events that happened in my life in that moment. You know, like what if I actually took it in
Mm-hmm.
like is a like not a full on regret, but like something like
Yeah.
just something just something different. Because like it was basically like with what if the events that happened in my life, it's just going through what the normal notions are. Right?
Okay.
Like the normal notions of how people would feel within like if that ever happened to them. So like I always want to take that and spin it around and see where it goes from there most of the time. So yeah, that's
True.
basically yeah. Other than life experiences, just most like it's about like 60-40, 60% what's in my imagination and 40% based off what's outside of my life.
Yeah.
And I guess it goes without saying like most of the things that we've done too, doing the NFS as a YouTube channel and all that other stuff too. Like yeah, it's sort of like that, right? Like how
Yeah.
we've done skits and whatever. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's an interesting take on things, man.
True. I feel you should be as creative as you can. Use all influences from music,
Mhm.
or not even from just music, from your life as much as
Mhm.
possible, because
Oh, definitely, man.
you'll be able to make the most art. And I feel like that's what's happening now also in music is, again, people are being less ashamed of
Mhm.
things they enjoy in life and are able to share that more. Like, again, which
I'm
leads into
honestly glad that that's happening, man. It's sort of like
leads into like
like
the
they're
next topic too, right? Where
Mhm.
I'm more just even saying, yeah, like again, for us, we're anime
Mhm.
fans, but
Oh, man.
being fans of anime and whatnot,
Mhm.
back in our time of high school, not
Dude.
something cool. So it was kind of very much was in the closet. Very much was not going out and telling people, yeah, man, I watch all these. Like, nah, bro, I don't do none of that. I wouldn't. You know what? I wouldn't denounce it. I just would not say anything. It was always that awkward situation of waiting to be like, is someone gonna say something about it? No one says anything, then I don't rock with it. Because I'm like, I could come up with a bunch of other shows I watched, but I'm like, I won't say this. But yeah,
And then when someone opens up that gate, it's like, well, in that case, let me be your anime dealer.
oh hell, you totally nerd the fuck out. But you know, if you don't
Man, I can
say
only like, yeah.
if you don't say
Mm.
nothing, I ain't gonna say nothing. Don't ask, don't tell, right?
For real though, the amount of anime that you've suggested to me over the years, my dude, shit.
I love it. Again, I'm like
Mhm.
I take different process of it. I don't weeb out on. I'll say
Mhm.
like low level weeb. Like I don't got the body pillow. Not shaming anybody who does. I don't got the body pillow or a bunch of like anime paraphernalia or anything like that. Like so I don't. So it's one of those things. I'm like I don't go that hard, but I feel like that's because of the partially feeling ashamed and just being like I don't need anybody to know because it was one of those things. I'm like if any girl comes into my room.
Mhm.
I don't I don't need them seeing like some Naruto headband and fucking
Are
bleach.
those kunai knives?
Yeah.
I'm glad you fucking asked.
Oh yeah. No, I just be oh yeah. I love Japanese culture, you know, which I do. I just love
They see the Konoha symbol and like that's when like you know whether or not they're an actual anime fan and they point it out.
Not really, because they might just be. It could just be bait. They could just be baiting you to just be like,
That's
"Oh,
true,
so
yeah.
you're one of those fucking nerds," and it's like, "No, no, I'm not. I swear, it's my little brothers."
Oh shit, man.
But yeah, no,
Yeah. Mm.
I'll even say, because yes, some of my music can be or has been inspired. I won't say any of the music that I've actually put out, but there was times when music was inspired by either animes or just actual like live action shows, Western shows that I've watched, and things that I've wanted to kind of be like, yo, this could be like a great concept. Because again, I draw inspiration from everything. It could just be something someone like, just again, a sentence, a phrase, a word someone says. It just kind of triggers that inspiration, right? Which you'll hear a lot of artists say that, because they're just kind of like, you're in a conversation and suddenly just like they'll say something like, oh, and you're trailed off. You've left the conversation, but it is what it is. But
No, definitely, man. No.
I'm happy to see that everyone is being embraced and everyone is not necessarily judging everyone for what they do.
For the most part, yes.
I know it's still happening, of course, but at the same time, it's just one of those things where you have to ignore the hate and just kind of go with the people that love you, because what's the point of always focusing on like that one person who said, oh, that's fucking lame as shit. I was like, okay, whatever. I don't care. I like this shit.
Neat.
I hope you guys enjoyed. We're going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
We're trying to keep this a little bit smaller and concise and, actually a little more organized for you guys. So hope you guys enjoy everything that we're doing. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and, until next time.
I'm A-squared.
I'm Randy Bell. This is the NFS Podcast. Peace easy.
All right. Peace.